Okay, so a quick revision of what we started on chapter 3. We start, so CCNA2, for CCNA2, we'll do a lot of switching technology. It exactly, the course we're doing, as I did explain, it's the same course at CPT, UCT, America, Europe, it's the same course. So please take it seriously and it will help you. So we'll study more the switch, the router, and a bit of wireless. So in this CCNA2, the basic configs, switch, inter-VLAN. So for switch technology, it's mostly VLANs. Basic configs like we did in CCN1 and VLANs. And yeah, you know the definition of VLAN we did last time. We checked the 5 type of VLAN, basic config, and today we're going to do more inter-VLAN routing. So all of them are in chapter 3. If there's something you don't understand, the WhatsApp group is there, post it, and we help each other, no problem. So the 5 type of VLANs, we have a default VLAN. If you have a switch and you don't configure any VLAN, so let me check. What did that switch of last time? If you have a switch and you don't configure any VLAN, by default we have a VLAN called VLAN 1, and all the ports will belong to that VLAN. It's like you have one office and everyone belong to the same office by default. So you cannot delete VLAN 1. Now, if you have a big office and you want to divide marketing office, sales office, IT office, management office, then you create VLAN to separate them. VLAN is like you're creating different offices and you assign people to these offices. So default VLAN, then data VLAN, or anything related to email, traffic, and data VLAN. So each VLAN, if you belong to, let's say, marketing office, you have, let's say, a kind of cloth or stamp, so that we switch, we know that this one comes from office, marketing office, or this one comes from the finance office. If someone doesn't have a cloth or doesn't belong to an office, it belongs to a native VLAN. So it's very important, guys, to study. CCNA is not difficult at all. The only thing for CCNA, you must study every day. You must practice every day. I've been through that. I'm teaching for 10 years. I know students who study, they are performing well. And you have management VLAN and voice VLAN. So all this stuff we did in chapter 3, chapter 2, chapter 2, yeah, chapter 3, because chapter 1 is revision for CCN1. Chapter 2 is the switch. What is a switch? How the switch built the MAC address table, how the switch processes frames. We have stored in forward or cut through. When you do VLANs, we have basic configs, how to create a VLAN, how to assign ports, how to delete VLAN. To delete VLAN, before you delete VLAN, you must remove the ports We're going to check that soon. So to create a VLAN, you go to S1, conf T, you give a name, VLAN 20 or office number 20, the name of that office, marketing office. So VLAN 20, name student. This is how we create a VLAN on a switch. Then you can assign port. So on S1, if you want to assign this port F18 to a student, interface F, switch port mode access VLAN 10, 20. It means if you come and you plug a PC in that port, that PC will belong to the student VLAN. You have a WhatsApp, you have a YouTube video also. So if you want to delete a VLAN, so if you want to delete a VLAN, you type no VLAN and the VLAN ID. But before you delete, you must remove the port first. So I'll show you this one after we do the demo. So this is the switch, for example. And we can ask you to create VLAN 10, give a name, VLAN 20, give a name, VLAN 30, give a name. And then you can assign port to these guys. I'll do a demo. Now there is something called trunk. A trunk port is a port that will carry many VLAN. So this is S2, and this port belongs to VLAN 10. This port belongs to VLAN 20. This port belongs to VLAN 30. So when all of them will send data to go out, they will go out via F01. So we say F01 is a trunk port. Why? Because it's going to carry data from many VLANs. If a port carries data for only one VLAN, we call it access port. But if it's going to carry data from many VLAN, we call it a trunk port. So how to configure? In your global config mode, F01, switch port mode trunk. Remember before we did switch port mode access. It means that port will carry data for only one VLAN, VLAN 10 only, or VLAN 20 only. But this one, switch port mode trunk, it means I'm going to allow traffic from different VLAN. Traffic from VLAN 10 will go through me. Traffic from VLAN 20 will go through me. Traffic from VLAN 30 will go through me. Now switch port trunk. Okay, this one you can configure a native VLAN in case a PC doesn't have a VLAN, it goes to native VLAN. If you want, you can configure that. Then switch port trunk allow VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40. It means switch port mode trunk. Now, which VLAN I'm going to allow? Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10, 20, 30. That's all for the trunk. So I'll do a labs and you'll understand more. So, and also with Cisco, when something is new, it seems difficult. It's not. Read it many times. Watch the video many times. Do a lab many times, and you'll be okay. You at least you have internet. At our time, it was books only. When you register, they give you 2 books. You go, you read. But now they have internet, data card, packet tracer. At the beginning of CCNA, Cisco, it was books only. Something I did show you before, no? Cisco books, old image. Yeah, this is it. But this one is for CCNP. So in the old days, when you register, they give you your books, plus 2 books, and you go study by yourself. There is no packet tracer, no. You study by yourself and come right to your exam. Now we change it. We have data cards, YouTube videos, packet tracer. In the old days was not like that. Now you see this guy, he even kept all his books. I had mine, I don't know where I put them. But it's 20 years ago. I did my CCNA 20 years ago. So you see, yeah, CCNP, and you study by yourself and no one to teach you. Me, because I was doing at University of Pretoria, so we go once a week, and the teacher teaches 2 chapters, and you go home. After that, you come write your exam. And from time to time, we went to the IT department lab. We give you a book, a lab manual, and you study by yourself. He says, do this, do this, do this, do. It was a bit difficult and all this. But I say, please take it seriously. Study. Cisco is about studying. 2 hours per day, you'll be fine. You see, some people they still keeping the old books. Wow. You see. So guys, please study. We all went through there. Okay, let us continue. So I'll do a demo for you. So if you don't want to configure the trick manually, you can enable so that the switch will do it automatically. Me, I don't like it because I want to know what I do. I don't want someone to do a system to do it for me, and when it doesn't work, I don't know where to look for it, where to start. You can use the automatic pilot if you travel via plane, or manually. Me, I prefer manually. I know what I did. I document. If something goes wrong, I know where to go. Automatic, it's fine, but so if you want to disable it, you tap switch ports, non-negotiate. Okay, so you can have a look on this one if you want to. You can have a look on this one. Okay, so after you check this, so if it asks you to disable automatic tracking protocol DTP, you tap switch port non-negotiate. Mm. Okay, this is the definition of trunk also. You can also have a look. Okay, so the link between switches via trunk port. Why? Because if we have VLAN 10, 20, 30. We're going to send all the data to S2. We need to go out, then F11, F01 on switch 2, a trunk port. S1, all port are trunk ports because we need to carry traffic for many VLANs. We have a stamp to say, I come from VLAN 10 or I come from VLAN 20. So the protocol that will do the tag, called 802.1q. It will be a system that will put VLAN number on the packet or on the data. So if a packet or a data comes without a stamp, it means it doesn't belong to any VLAN. It goes to native VLAN. And feel free to ask your question. Mhm. So VLAN is, we identify traffic coming from a VLAN with a tag or a stamp. You want to log on? Let me check. So join with that. Join. Okay, so let's continue, guys. Now, inter-VLAN routing. It's something simple. Normally, if I belong to VLAN 10 and you belong to VLAN 20, we cannot communicate. If we need to communicate, we need a router. That's why the inter-VLAN. We have communication between VLANs. And that router, we call it router on a stick. So a router on a stick, it's just a name to say that on that router, I did configure inter-VLAN routing. How to configure that? It's very, very, very simple, but you must be careful. So if you have a router, let me show you an example first. No, I don't. I should have put the picture here. I'm trying to open something else. This one is CCNA3. It's not for you. It's for another class. So the CCNA3 class at CP UT, we are busy finishing CCNA3. So this one is some exams. So us also will do that. We'll do all these things. Okay, let's go to file. Is it going to open? Yes or no, this guy? File. Yes, let's save it. New. Any, do you want to save? Yes, I want to save. Okay, he's busy saving. So let me explain to you what is interVLAN routing. InterVLAN routing is chapter 4. I can explain to you in 5 minutes. It's not difficult. So let us wait for packet reset to allow me to start. Okay. So I go away. Okay, this is still busy. It's quite annoying. So waiting. Okay, let us wait a bit. He's busy doing I don't know what. Okay, let us wait. He's still busy doing. Uh, okay, he's still busy. So let's have a read, what is returnistic here? Oh, no, no. Okay, let us be patient. Okay, so we have a router here, we have a switch, and let's say I have 4 PCs. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to put them like that, and I'm going to connect them. So I will call. Okay, so let's say these two will belong VLAN 10 laptops. The name is laptops. Here is VLAN 20 desktop. So we have two VLANs, these two and these two. Let me add a IP just for fun. 192.168.10 for VLAN 10.2, because I'm not going to involve a router for now. I leave it blank. 10.2. Let's check here. 192.168.20 for VLAN 20.2. Subnet mask, the default one. Remember, an IP address cannot come alone. Always comes with a subnet mask, the default one for class C. Now let me check something. So by default, PCs in the same VLAN, they can communicate each other. PCs in the same VLAN, they can communicate. But if a laptop want to communicate with a desktop, so PCs in different VLAN, if you want to communicate, we need a router to route the traffic. And this router is called router on a stick. And we need to configure that. So this PC, I'm going to add also an IP 10.2. So here I put 192.168.10 equivalent 10.3. This guy is 20.2. This guy, I'll say 20.3. So now, for all these guys to communicate, router on the stick, I take a link, I put here. You see G000, this interface, we're not going to add the IP address. We'll add what we're going to cut it, and we call it sub interface, meaning G. Very simple. Huh? Guys, this is what we do in IT, especially in networking. If you work in that department, that's why people are well paid. We create two sub interfaces, one for VLAN 10, one for VLAN 20. So for VLAN 20, it will be G 0, 0, 0, you see, dot 20 for VLAN 20, and this one G 0 for VLAN 10. So on this physical interface, we don't configure any IP address. We don't add an IP address. But we'll create two sub-interfaces because we have two VLANs. We have a VLAN here, a VLAN here. So you can see one for VLAN 10, the name of the interface, G000.10 for VLAN 10. And for VLAN 20, the name of the interface, .20. So have a look first and we continue. It's very simple. Then for VLAN 10, we're going to add default gateway. Default gateway 192.168.10 for VLAN 10.1/24. And for VLAN 20, a IP default gateway 192.168.20 for VLAN 20.1/24. So what does it mean? For VLAN 1, this physical interface, we're going to create a logical interface called G00.10. And it's only here we have to add an IP address, 192.168.10.1. It means anyone belonging to VLAN 10, we will get that IP as a default gateway. So I open VLAN here. And now I can assign a default gateway .1 as per the picture here. So have a look first and we continue. I continue. So this default gateway, anyone belonging to VLAN 10 will have that default gateway. Then I put it here. See. Now, for VLAN 20, this is the default gateway. Anyone belonging to VLAN 20 will get that IP as a default gateway. So I come here now, I add it, 20, for VLAN 20. You see? I copy that default gateway, and this guy also belongs to VLAN 20. It will also get that default gateway. So have a look, and we continue. Okay, so step by step, see, then when we do that, we need now to configure on the router. So I open the router, enable conft. Now I need to configure. So I go to that logical interface, the physical interface G000. I need to activate no shut, and I exit. So the physical interface, the normal one, no shutdown, but I don't assign any IP address. I'll assign IP addresses from the sub interfaces. So I go to each sub interface, interface G000.10 or VLAN 10. From there, I need to put a stamp. So encapsulation to say any traffic coming from VLAN 10. So encapsulation dot 1Q 10 for VLAN 10. It means any traffic coming from VLAN 10 will have a stamp 10. So if I see a traffic coming and I see on your packet 10, this guy come from VLAN 10. That's why we see encapsulation. Now I can assign the IP address. You see. Remember, I'm interface, sub-interface G00.10, and this is the IP here. 192.168.10 or VLAN 10.1. See. 192.168.10 or VLAN 10.1. Subnet mask slash 24 255.255.255.0. If you want to add again, no shutdown if you want to, but it's fine. You see. Do copy, run, start. This is how we configure a sub interface. Then I go to the other sub interface. I exit from here. Interface G000.20 for VLAN 20. Encapsulation .1Q 20 for VLAN 20. Now I add the IP address 192.168.20 for VLAN 20.1. If you want to add no shut, it's fine. You can also add. Do copy, run, start. So when you do that, now the router, if a traffic comes here, we switch to a router because of the encapsulation dot one queue. The router will know, this traffic comes from VLAN 10, where he want to go to VLAN 20, then he can forward. So this is how we do. Now, I open again my PC. Previously, I couldn't ping. Now let's check if I can ping now. It's going to do the address resolution protocol. Let's go to it. Yeah, we forgot something. We forgot something. Yes, it's true. We did configure the router on a stick. So before that, I'm going to show you a summary of that. Yeah, for example, if you have such interface and you want to create sub interfaces, you see, you keep the name .10 for VLAN 10. You still keep the name .20 for VLAN 20. So check that. So this one is another example to show you how to configure router on a stick. Then this is a full configuration. The same thing we did. You go to that interface G001.10 for VLAN 10. You can add a description, encapsulation .1Q10 for VLAN 10. You add the IP address and you can exit. And you go for the other sub interface, you do the same thing. So it's also the same thing we did now. So have a look also. So guys, if you know that, that's all for chapter 4. Chapter 4 is about inter-VLAN routing. It's only this configuration only. Anything else, we'll try to explain more. That's all. So now let's come back to our topology here. This is the configuration of router on a stick. Now we need to come to our switch and configure our VLANs. So enable conft. So how to create VLAN 10? You type VLAN 10 and you give a name. Name laptops and you exit. You create the other VLAN, VLAN 20, name desktop. You exit. This is how we create VLANs. So here, you see, these two laptops, they belong to VLAN 10, and the name of that VLAN is laptops. So VLAN, in your global config mode, VLAN 10, name laptops, and you exit. You configure the other one, VLAN number or VLAN ID 20, the name desktop, and you exit. If you want to view, you type VLAN or do show VLAN brief. Do show VLAN brief, and you can see that in VLAN column, I have a default VLAN, VLAN 1. We can never delete it. It's like that. Then I have VLAN 10, name desktop, a laptops, VLAN 20, desktop. Now we need to assign port to each VLAN. So here I can see this guy is port F01 and F02. These two guys, they belong to VLAN 10. Then I go interface F01, switch port mode access. It means it will carry data for only one VLAN, VLAN 10 only. Switch port access VLAN 10. It means this port will belong to VLAN 10. So have a look and we continue. After we do that, we know also that this port F02 belongs to VLAN 10. So we go to that port, we exit here, interface FA02, we do the same thing. VLAN 10. Do copy, run, start to save. If you want to view, show VLAN brief. And I can see that VLAN 1, port 1 and port 2, they now belong to VLAN 10 laptops. This is how we assign. It means if you come and plug a PC to that port, automatically it belongs to VLAN 10 laptops. We are done for this section. We do exactly the same thing for these two here. Port F3, F4. So conft interface FA03, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. I exit. I go to port 4, interface FA04, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Do copy, run, start, and okay, you can also have a look on this one, how to assign port. You go to the interface, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Now let's check show VLAN brief. When we say someone is a network engineer, it's always knowledge they know. Always knowledge, so that you know how, if someone say, okay, I have my company, I learned that you have a CCNA, can you please help me build my network? It's exactly the same thing. You buy the equipment, the laptops, network cables, switch, router, and you do your configs. Now you can see that this port, we are no longer in the default VLAN. We have moved them to this one. Now, let's check something now. You can see FA05 on this switch. This one is a trunk port. Why? Because it's going to carry data from VLAN 10 to go to the router. Oh, it's going to also carry data from VLAN 20 to the router. So it's going to carry data from many VLANs. Then it's a trunk port. We need to configure this port as a trunk, F05. So we come here, interface F. We need to go to the global config mode, const interface FA05, switch port mode. This time is trunk because it's going to carry data from different VLAN. Trunk. You see? Switch port trunk, allowed VLAN. I'm going to allow VLAN from VLAN 20, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And I'm done. So port F05, switch port mode trunk, then switch port trunk, allowed VLAN. Do copy, run start, and show VLAN brief. You can see that the F05 vanished from here. It vanished, but there is no way to find it because it doesn't belong to VLAN 10, doesn't belong to VLAN 20. Let's see. Show VLAN. Show VLAN, question mark. Brief, okay, it's fine. Show interface trunk. Yeah. So if I want which port is a trunk port on my switch, show interface trunk. It will show you F05 is a trunk port. The system that will tag traffic, put stamps is there. So this one is a trunk port. And that port will allow, see, VLAN data coming from VLAN 10 and 20. So this is a new commercial interface trunk. And we did configure VLAN 10. We did assign ports to this VLAN. We did configure VLAN 20. We did assign port on them. We configure our router as router stick. We configure S05 as trunk port. Normally, now PCs from different VLAN should now be able to communicate. Let's check. If it doesn't work, it means there is something wrong. And you see how I can communicate. Before, without I can communicate. So PCs from different VLAN can now communicate because of the router. That's all for chapter 3 and chapter 4. It's about switch technology and router on the stick. So have a look again, and we can end the session for today. So that lab that normally we should have done, it's exactly the same thing that we did. Open. Why is that? So you have a packet tracer. I think it's 4.2.7. It's exactly the same. If you understood this, it's exactly the same, nothing else. I'm going to open it. It's exactly the same. You need to create VLANs, assign ports, which port is the trunk, and configure the router as root on the stick. Nothing else. That's it. Have the winner. So have a look, and in 2 minutes we can. If you have questions, please ask now. Else, anytime, post your question in the WhatsApp group. Will help you.
Good evening, Mr. Max. Sorry, Mr. Max, I've got a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Max, I want to know if there's like in the last case of the packet tracer where you were busy working on, how do we know like what I did was 100%? Because there's no, it doesn't show the result of the work that
Which
was
one?
made. Like the one that you just
1 sec. Let me send. Let me send the register to you. Enoch. Wait, I'm going to send this one to Enoch first. Okay, you said for this one you
yes, because there's no way, there's no any place that is showed that the result has been showing. But how are we going to know that like what I did was 100%? Right.
okay. This one is a demo. It must I built it. It's not configured for grading. This one is myself.
Oh, okay.
Now for grading, if you want to if you come to a normal packet tracer file that has been configured for grading, I'm going to open for you. Then you could see your stuff there. So I'm going to open it so that you see. It's a bit slow today, my laptop. So after the meeting, I'm going to restart it. So let me be patient. It's going to open. So yourself, you want to play around. We have a lab here, how to configure VLAN ID,